Oopsie. Oh, what are you guys doing tonight? Gotta go find a hammer. We're working on my f350. F3 shitty. That's what I like to call it. Gotta go find me a good hammer. Because, gonna have to use the Amish impact method to remove these bolts. I think I need a 14 millimeter. So, gets me a break. I love going on TikTok Live, working on my own stuff. There's somebody to talk to while I'm working on my shit out here, because I don't really want to be miserable, you know? I don't want to be alone and miserable. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Well, you guys tapping the screen, liking the live, adding the things to your cart really helps me. When you're this far from the source, you know what I mean? No. That's alright. We're gonna survive this. This too. So I was just here hanging out, digging through a toolbox is what it looks like, but I'm really working on this f350, and I don't want to do it all alone, so that's why I like to get on the TikTok Live here. And if anybody's got any car questions, anything they need any advice on, feel free to ask me, because I can work and talk at the same time. I actually prefer it, so hit me up in the chat and let me know what you're up to today. I've got me an alpha fuel in. They're great. Motivating me currently. I still need a hammer. Forgot my hammer. The old 916s are out there. Alright, we're gonna be on to something here, folks. I do think I just got to Charles Johnson. Welcome in, sir. Been here working on truck to dump truck, not truck to dump truck. The heavy 69 here. 69 Del Grande. I don't know when. Having a little connectivity issues here, so let me know how it's going for you. I'm trying to get this place cleaned up down here. Let's see what I got going on, you know what I mean? This whole pump, I think, needs rebuilt, so I've got to pull it out. 75 box Chevy. Hey, what's up, buddy? You might not know something about a PTO dump up here, because I don't know shit about it. I'm gonna take it apart anyways. So wish me luck. But I would like to know a little something about it before I just tear into it. Can't be that hard though. PTO spins. Fluid comes out of it. Whatever it is, I wouldn't think it could be that bad, you know? How bad could it be? That's what they would say. How bad could it be? Welcome to my live, guys. I'm working on a 69 F350 here. Dump truck of my own. It's 2:40 in the morning. I'm doing some outlaw shit out here. Not really. But I didn't want to do it all alone, so I had to hop on the old TikTok live here. You know, they say misery loves company. Can't see shit right there, can you? My little lights are dead on my gimbal. I got one. What are you guys up to tonight? Working on anything exciting? That's what I'm looking to know. Got any exciting projects going on? Or just all working projects? You know what I mean? I just drove this baby here home. I don't know if anybody watches Fast Grip Garage or not, but I do. And I really earned a new respect for Derek from Fast Grip Garage, driving all these shit boxes home. It was pretty loud, and the brakes were pretty sketchy. And but by the time I got home, I was kind of like, you know, it ain't really too bad. This is just the vehicles that they had in 1969. It was the best that they could do. You know what I mean? You don't always have to fly around 70 miles an hour. You'll make it at 40. Might take you a little longer. But I do love your guys' support. I love it when I can, you know, be out here theoretically in the most miserable conditions. You know, who really wants to be out here? 3 o'clock a.m. I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but it's like 3 in the morning here. And I don't really want to be under this truck, but I kind of feel like I gotta be. So the TikTok Live, the support that I see on the TikTok Live encourages me. Stay out here. Stay motivated. Keep on trucking, folks. Maybe you needed to hear that today. You just need to keep on trucking. If your trucks ain't trucking and your dump ain't dumping, sometimes you just gotta keep on trucking, my friends. What you gotta do. I'm pretty satisfied with that. I do need to get this baby off, and it is a burr. I got this little hammer here. I don't know if it's gonna quite do the job, but I'm sure this line's only been on here for 42 years, so it should just come right off, right? Trying the old Amish impact out on it. I don't really have a lot of swinging room, and I've already armbarred the shit out of it, you know what I mean? Sound effects didn't work. Was unable to convince that to come loose. My favorite thing about going TikTok Live while I'm working on stuff, and sometimes I'll be down here and I come back up and I'll look at my phone and I'll see that I got a gift and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just made 0.018 cents working on my own vehicle. You know, it's like a huge win for me personally. The mental thing, you know what I mean? Now, I'm going to go get this pipe, and I'm going to be right back, and I hope nobody leaves, but I do want to know in the comments, what are your projects that you're working on? Alright, I'm back. Woo! That's cool, nobody went anywhere. I actually got 2 people. Love that. Well, I'm back, don't worry. Wasn't gone that long. Join the live from the FYP page. That is amazing. I got my cheater pipe on here, so. Oh, got it, guys. Got it. Woo! Stretch it out. Thank you for liking my live. I appreciate that. Sharing my live. I'm just a single dad out here trying to get a little business going with a dump truck so I can use it for firewood and gravel and dirt and shit that I'm moving from one house to another, maybe doing some demos, you know what I mean? Got a mini excavator and a skid steer. How can you not have a dump truck? You know what I mean? I got this line broke loose. Got another one broke loose. I've never heard of a Crescent Minneapolis hydro pump before, but I'm hoping there's somewhere that you can still get like a seal kit for it. But I guarantee it's probably not going to be in the TikTok shop, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things in the TikTok shop that got this alpha chew, and it's what's making me be out here right now. So, if you guys pick that up, it's so hard to read under. What am I demoning? Well, what you doing? Demoing. I'm not demoing anything right now, but I do plan on getting to the... I do plan on getting into demolition work eventually. You know, with a skid steer and a mini excavator and a dump truck. But currently, I've got this dump truck, and I got it home, and now, when I bought it, it dumped. And now, it does not dump. And the PTO spins, the lever works, but there's no, like, pressure. There's no movement in the hydraulic cylinderage area department. You know, no bueno is how it dumps. And so I figured, what else are you supposed to do other than take the whole thing apart, see how it works, take it apart, see if anything's broke, put it back together. You know, what else are you supposed to do when you get a $1,400 dump truck? You know what I mean? It only needs everything. It's working pretty good, though. Going pretty good. I love to see when I hit my live goals for working on my own vehicles. That's why I want to get people to my fan club. It only takes 1 cent, 1 penny, 1 coin to hop up here and press this heart. And then every time I go live, I'm going to start going daily live, but you got like 4 days. So I'm going to start going live every chance I get is kind of my plan. And then you get the daily hard me's, you get the engagement points, it helps your page, it helps my page, and if I come up here and I see a daily hard me, I'm gonna be like, woo! Working on this truck at 3 o'clock in the morning ain't so bad, guys. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Not so bad. We're gonna be like an Everlast out song out here, because It's not so bad. Maybe that's not Everlast. I'm guessing there's going to be quite a bit of fluid coming out of here. I'm just hoping it's less than what this thing holds. You know what I mean? Look, I hope we don't need a little bigger. Oh, wow. Bigger jug. Don't worry, guys, I'm getting it. I think I should probably let all this fluid drain out through this valve before I go popping that the rest of the way off. That does make a lot of sense. Thinking about a less mess way here how to do this right now. Because, believe it or not, there's a lot of other places I'd rather be than under a 69 f350 right now, you know. Oh, there is an O-ring right there. I can see the O-ring. And if it's popping out, that's probably not a good thing. I do know that there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't know what. You know what I mean? The fluid actually looks really good. So that's encouraging. I don't think that this thing's supposed to pull out that far. And I don't know if it's... You can twist it all the way around 360. So that... Well, it really comes out then. Comes out chunky. I'm not a hydraulic expert. Don't really claim to know what I'm doing here. But we're giving it a shot. You know what I mean? Sometimes all you can do is try. Try again. Try until you fail. Try, fail some more. I don't know, remember exactly who said that. Maybe Thomas the Train. Was it Thomas the Train who said that? If you feel like you're failing, just keep on trying. Just keep on trucking. With the Thomas the Train. I think I only got 2 bolts. Big nasty one up there. Maybe guess that. Who's up there? Doesn't look so hot. I think this pump is more like off of a tractor. So I'm wondering if I can just replace it with like any other 4-ton pump. You know what I mean? Or Trump 151. I love that name. I should have been wearing my Make America Great hat again out here for you, buddy. You better believe I got one of those. It's not going bad out here, though. Not upset about how it's going, you know what I mean? But it's never a great time to be in a situation like this. Let's try to sneak over here a little bit and get this other bolt out. She's just puking everywhere. She's losing the goods. I really thought that good tug would have got it there, but she didn't. If you don't have a hammer handy, just grab anything you can. It'll usually work. Use the old jack handle there, guys. Worked out great for me. Use what you can. Hey guys, what are you guys doing tonight? It's 3 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm working on a f350 dually. The dump ain't working. The dumper refuses to dump, so I'm addressing that. Do have an alpha fuel in. I even want to get one in my shop. Scoop it up. You won't regret it. You like energy? You like nootropics? Get in my shop. Get in my showcase. Purchase said alpha dip. You won't regret it. There's a lot of flavors in there. They got a lot of good flavors. By a lot of good flavors, I mean I ain't had a bad one. You know what I mean? Ooh. We are getting a little close to full on the old bucket here. I get so miserable working out here in the gravel and the dirt and the gross in the middle of the night and the cold and the hot and the not. That's why I love TikTok. TikTok Live, 2 people in here hanging out with me. So I'm just out here working on my shit. I don't feel so alone. Somebody's here to watch me. What are you guys up to today? I love to see the comments when I get a minute to look over there, and if I see one of my goals is hit, maybe somebody gave me that daily heart me. Somebody gave me that join my fan club sticker. You know what I mean? I'm like, woo! Alright. Second bolt out. Cool. Now, definitely gonna continue to let this drain. Oh man, I can pull this thing like all the way out. Oh, fluid's coming out from over there too. I don't think that that's supposed to do that. Oh, yep. I'd say we got a problem here. Maybe I can turn this lever to go on the other side. Oh, damn. To get my other bowl here. My first bowl is a full of hydraulic fluid. Okay. Let's hope that this one. Let's go for a seamless swap here. Let's go. Pushing this one out of the way and simultaneously putting this one in there. There we go. There we go. You got this. We got this. Oh, well, not making a huge mess. Great work. Excellent. Love that. Going great. How are you doing tonight? Let me know in the comments if you would rather be working on a truck right now. Or would you rather be doing whatever you're doing? Dropped a little something in there. Something. I definitely got some kind of valve issue. You know, I seen them have the O-rings on there. I think it might be supposed to have an O-ring on the other side too. And it doesn't. I definitely already learned quite a lot about this system just by being here tonight, taking it apart. Let's see if I can get this line the rest of the way off. If it's not too awful boring, it's probably gonna be boring. Hey guys, Joe tonight. Here working on my 7069 f350. Trying to get the dump pump off because it doesn't work. Guess when this comes off, it'll still be on the PTO shaft, so I'm gonna have to pull it this way. And maybe fish it out of there, I don't really know. Just winging it. I'm winging it, folks. I'm winging it. Feels like that should be about ready to come off there, though. Seems like it's getting hot. Oh, there it is. That might have been the sound of victory right there, folks. I think it is off of there. Okay. So now, we should be able to pry that off of there, I would think. The valve's done valving. That was definitely my problem. I can already tell that valve that I just pulled out there is definitely my problem. It's not supposed to dump fluid out of the completely opposite side. I don't see that being a normal operation. So, good to know. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Definitely still on there pretty good. I'm gonna have to go get a flathead screwdriver, start trying to take off the hose on the top, and then, which I think I might just cut. It might be easier. I'm not sure yet, but it's gotta come off. One way or another, it's gotta come off. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments, what are you guys doing tonight? Are you doing anything exciting? Just hanging out at home, getting ready for work. It's 3:30 in the morning here. You know what I mean? 3:30 in the morning. Not a lot of people are awake. So I don't know if, in California, is it midnight in California? Could be. I've never tried to go on TikTok live at 2 o'clock in the morning. First time. And, I gotta say I like it. You know what I mean? It is pretty nice. I would love if somebody give me that gold, give me that subscribe button up here. You, follow me. Follow my page. Cause, I don't want to be alone out here working on all these shit boxes. I don't feel like I got some friends hanging out with me. But all your real life friends, they get kids and they got no time. And you got your own kids and you ain't got no time. Ain't nobody got no time in your real life. Everybody got the time to be on TikTok. So, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends on the TikTok. Cause, all of my friends already on TikTok. You see what I'm saying? They got no time, but sometimes they hang out with me while they poop. You get on TikTok live, you can hang out with your friends while you poop. Okay? That's what I like about it the most. My favorite thing about TikTok. You could hang out with your friends while you poop. And it's not weird. You know what I mean? You might be pooping right now. Let me know in the comments if you're pooping right now. That's what I need to know. I'll get back over there and look at the comments here in a minute. Cause I think I might have just had a comment over there. I think maybe. Just maybe I had a comment. Maybe somebody is pooping. You gotta let me know in the comments if you're pooping. Things are coming along great here. We gotta get this pump out, rebuilt, and back on the road. The hose is so hard, and like, I don't ever see getting that off. Like, I'm sure I'll have to cut it, like, in my own personal experience, like, It's a rock. You know, and it shoved really far on there. Yeah. So I think, not sure about this. I think something's got to come off right here. I think this is the pump, and the hole is down in there. Okay, so the whole pump's going that way, and this drive shaft has to come off there somewhere. I think it's gonna pull all this shaft maybe. I would hope not. Maybe it's this part. Does anybody know anything about PTO shafts on a 69 f350? Oh. Oh, hey, I gotta laugh my ass off. Great. I love seeing the comments when I come back over here, guys. Really do. Makes it not so miserable out here working underneath of this truck. I'm glad somebody could make somebody laugh while I was out here working on this unit. I can't believe something from this long ago has an Allen key on it. And I think that's going to take that off of that shaft. So, I'm going to have to find an Allen key. Copy that. I'm trying to reorganize my life out here a little bit to where, things aren't such a huge and constant mess. And it's a little hard to do at times, but it's really coming around. Got some sheds moved down there by my carport, so walk all the way up to here to this shed, which this shed is just, it's terrible. Like, don't look in here. Don't look in here. I'm not gonna be all ashamed of it. I have, the ADHD, and this is just a doom pile. And if you don't have a bucket full of all these Allen wrenches, to even work on shit, you know what I mean? I can barely walk in here, but you know what I mean? It's not stopping me from starting another project. Yeah. But that's alright. Disregard that, like I said. I'm taking volunteers. Organizational volunteers. If somebody comes and organizes my life, I'll try to keep it that way, but I wish you could look and see, like, the stars, you know what I mean? Like, the moon looks so terrible on a camera. Looks like a headlight if you zoom in on it. I do have a gimbal light here, but it's dead. And my phone here is about 15% too, but it's okay. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. I got a follower today while I'm working on my own truck. Hell yeah. Never would have got that follower if I just didn't press that record button. And that's what you guys should be doing too. Press that red button. Go live. What's the worst that could happen? You get a new follower? What's the worst that could happen? You don't feel so terrible while you're working on your own truck? What's the worst that could happen? You get to talk to somebody on TikTok Live instead of just out here talking to yourself. You get a vocal exercise while I'm working on my own truck. When normally I'm just out here miserable by myself doing this shit that I don't want to do, aka fixing my own vehicle. And if I do hit one of my little goals, I come back and I look over there like, oh man, somebody gave me one of my goals. I got a new follower. I really want some more subscribers to my lives. Would make me feel incredibly great. if you press this little heart up here by my name, you can join my fan club, and then you can get those daily heartbeats. And those really mean the most to me. Oh, got it real close, guys. We're on to something here. We're on the verge of something great. Okay. Only got one. Now I'm gonna get my crowbar, but I swear it's not far away. So please don't go anywhere, because I will be right back, like instantly, like real fast. Yeah. Alright, take an old pry bar here. Pretty decent sized pry bar. You know, see if I can just pry this drive shaft off of here. Does not like that. That one didn't work. Got the head screw out, but it is stuck on there. Stuck on there like you wouldn't would. I'm sure it'll come around. I'll get this eventually, folks. I am not gonna give up. Well, that U-joint is a little shitty. Gonna have to replace that. Oh, maybe this is the yoke. It's just covered in so much dirt you can't see it. No way. This is the slip yoke. I'm gonna be like impressed. Hey, can you really tell if it's a slip yoke? Well, there's a grease sport on it. Doesn't mean it's ever been greased in the last 38 years, but there's a grease sport on it. It means that whole shaft must come out. I think both ends of the shaft come out. You guys need any educational work on a 69 F350 dually dump truck. You're in for it tonight. You're getting it alive, baby. I love to work on cars while I'm on TikTok live because it makes me feel like I'm not all alone. So if you're there and you leave me a comment that just says like, hey, I'm here with you. You got this. We got this together. Go team, work on your own shit. Then it really makes me feel a lot better about how the current life situation is going. AKA whatever project I'm working on. Which is a really old vehicle today. Very old. 56 years old. Still runs and drives. Does not dump. And it's exactly what I need it to do. What's the point of having a dump truck if you can't dump it? Yep, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm pretty much just guessing. But, sorry for the terrible camera angle. No wonder anybody knows what I'm doing. For my face. But anyways, I don't exactly want to be here, but I love it when I'm working on TikTok. Somebody's hanging out with me. Somebody out there here with me, sharing in the misery. And even this grease is hard. How am I ever gonna get that off? How will I ever get that off? I do think if I take this plate off, then that whole thing will come down. Yep, let's do it. Let's go. Woo! Let me know how excited you guys are to see me get this truck fixed. Let me know in the comments. Are you ready to see this truck dumping? I'm ready to see this truck dumping. Get at me in those comments, people. I'm ready to have a victorious night. Whether it's this truck fixed or if it's my goals being met. Oh my gosh, thank you for the roses. Thank you so much. You're just fulfilling my personal dreams right now of getting paid to work on my own vehicle. I work on so many people's vehicles for free. To get paid to work on my own vehicle on TikTok Live is the most incredible feeling in the world to me. Like, I can't believe what it does for me. Like, you find a quarter on the ground and it doesn't mean shit to you because you didn't earn it. But if I get a couple of roses on here, if I meet my daily goal, if somebody looks at my stuff in the shopping cart and maybe buys a solar light, buys some alpha dip from me, from my link, and I earned that 25 cents, man, it's a different feeling, it's a different everything. It does something to me mentally. There's probably more of a dopamine release. Like, I think that TikTok is a real helper with my ADHD. Not so much the scrolling and the watching the videos, but the content creation, and definitely the going live helps with my ADHD a lot, because I might have got distracted or come up with some other better way or go do this in a different place later or something. But since I put in the title of my live, working on an F350 dump truck, you know what I mean? I'm going to be doing that the whole time I'm on live, and I got to be on live the whole time until my phone dies, because, you know, I want to level up in the lives. I love getting the roses. I love it when people click up in my heart right up there by my name and go to become a subscriber to my channel. Not a subscriber, but a fan club member. You know, send me those daily heart me's. That really improves your engagement a lot on TikTok, but it also really encourages me to keep doing what I'm doing, which is working on this F350 dually dump truck. That PTO dump wasn't working, so I've drained the hydraulic fluid from the reservoir. Now I am unbolting the 4 bolts that hold this pump to the reservoir bracket, and then I'm hoping the whole pump comes down. I'm not exactly counting on that, right? But it's my experience in the mechanical field. Got that all over my nose, guys. You see that? That drips right on my nose. Disgusting. Disgusting. Why did I even take a shower today? 2 shower a day, folks. Get a 56-year-old dump truck, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Actually, nobody said that. But I thought that. And that's what got me here. Working on my own things. Doing my own way. It'll be great. Work for yourself. Get your own equipment. so you can be out here at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning working on it on TikTok Live. Actually, it does sound pretty good when you say it like that. I have 3 of my new best friends hanging out with me. I love you guys. Nobody else in the world is hanging out with me. There's 3 of you. 3 of you on my TikTok Live that are spending your time with me while I'm here. Anywhere else you could be, but you're hanging out with me. And I appreciate that. I love the daily heart means. They mean so much to me. Liking my live. What's broke? So, this is a 1969 F350 dually dump truck, and the PTO here spins for the dump pump, right? And the PTO spins, and I noticed there's a little valve on the side that goes in and out, and it goes all the way in and all the way out way too far, even farther than it's supposed to. And the O-rings are bad in it, and I think I need a pump rebuild, or maybe just an O-ring in there, and that's why I'm pulling it. So I'm just pulling this pump tonight. I'm probably going to take it to my shop and take it all apart and clean it all out and inspect, check all the O-rings, put it all back together, clean it all up, come put it back in. So this is definitely getting loose, or a little looser than I want to keep my face under. You know what I mean? Here we go. I think it's just going to remove this bracket, which is kind of holding the pump, and then I don't know how much more I'll have to be doing to get this baby pulled out of here. I think I'm going to have to cut the hose on the top. Still don't know how the drive shaft comes off. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass to get off. But you won't be able to get it. Just keep trying till I get it. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for hanging out with me. It is fun. I'm having a great time. A lot of fun going on here. If you ain't got hydraulic oil in your hair at 4 o'clock in the morning, what are you even doing? You know what I mean? If you do have hydraulic in your hair, fluid in your hair at 4 o'clock in the morning, I could use your help. Just kidding. Probably a one-man job. Does look like I'm only held on by the drive shaft now. So that's good. This hose loose. She's loosey-goosey. Drive shaft still installed, but loose. So maybe I can use a slide hammer on that. Get it scooted out or something. Am I homeless? No, these are just my work clothes. Definitely not homeless. This is the underside of an F350. It's my home for tonight. I'd rather be out here covered in hydraulic fluid. When it's like 60 degrees, 50 degrees, instead of when it's 85 degrees, and actually have to wear clothes. Why am I taking parts out of someone's car? It's mine. It's my vehicle. It is someone's, but it's mine. PTO shaft wire, look for a joint on the trans side. So, Half Moon Customs? No way, dude. You know way you're in my TikTok live right now. I watch your YouTube, and you do you got like your own crew cab. You made your own crew cab bump side or a dent side, 79 crew cab, man. You're a legend, bro. If you follow me, I would be. So this would be the best TikTok live I've ever done. I'm working on a. That is you. Hell yeah, dude! I love your channel on YouTube. I'm one of your followers on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen my Honchero on there, but you got to go to my video and see my little custom made Honda Accord crew cab short bed. It's quite the unit, you know what I mean? I do like my dent sides, bump sides, and everything, but I cannot afford to drive those everywhere at 7 miles a gallon. I gotta have me a little Honda, you know what I mean? Just ran across my feed. That's awesome, man. Is it 3:47 in the morning, 3:57 in the morning where you're at too? I don't remember what state you're from. I know you see it said in your YouTube. I'm working on this F350 here. And it's a 69 F350 dually, and it's got the PTO dump, which I've never messed with. When I bought this truck, it did work, and now it doesn't. That I've got it running on, I've got it home, and if you see this little shaft right here, it goes all the way in and all the way out, and it's got an O-ring on it, and I think that's my problem. The PTO shaft spins, and I've got it broken loose from this seemingly homemade apparatus here, and I just got the hose holding it on up there, which I think I'm going to cut. But it looks like this shaft here hasn't been greased in about 78 years, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that off. I took a set screw loose up here in the top of this U-joint right there, and I tried to pry it on with the pry bar. I couldn't get it. It's definitely it's not going right. Oh, 257 miles, it's not bad. Yeah, nowhere place I'd rather be other than underneath a bump side Ford. You know what I'm saying, dude? Figured if I was gonna get a dump truck, I might as well get a 69 Ford dump truck. Why not? Gotta be cool. Yeah, I don't know about too many PTO driven pumps either, but I can imagine. I've done some, like a spool valve for a tractor. I've rebuilt a wood splitter. These kind of simple repairs. I haven't got it to move at all though, but I can tell that this is a slip yoke. It's really a pretty cool design. It's just an external shaft on the side of the transmission. It comes back here, spins this, spins the pump. I feel like every truck could have it. Where do I see myself in 10 years? Hopefully in the mirror. My phone is about to die here, though. We're gonna ride it out, folks. Can I get this out before my phone dies? That's a real question. Alright, just kind of bends that up. Copy that. This is where it really needs to come out. I don't know how you're supposed to get anything in there to pry against that. I can see that the grease is right up in there. I think the grease is holding it in there as much as it's hurting it, you know what I mean? Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate that so much. I'm trying to get some traction on my page. You probably know this. I don't know if you got enough followers to, if you're making any money. I know you make cool stuff, dude. And I would love to get you on here and live host you sometimes. I do working Wednesdays on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. and pull the greaser and add some oil. That's a pretty good idea. Like spray some penetrating oil on there. And I'm looking for people to co-host to where I can be working in my garage, you can be working in your garage. We're both in the same TikTok live, and we can help each other with problems like this and kind of just walk around our shops, work. I got a gimbal. I don't know if you got a gimbal for your content creation yet, but it can follow you around the room, and that's a pretty handy thing. I've got my phone in my gimbal right now, but I'm not moving around right now, so I just kind of had to go live here so I didn't feel so miserable. No. Your support team kind of goes away when it's 4 o'clock in the morning. All we can do is keep trying. I think it's more of a 7/16 flavor. I do like to do a live recording and then... Oh, you gotta get Wi-Fi going in your shop? Yeah, I've got a Wi-Fi extender, so I'm about 100 feet away from my internet source, my house. And I got a booster at the old Walmart, and that gets it out here, and I get 3 bars out here. So, working the night shift. Oh yeah, I worked night shift for like 10 years, so being out here in the middle of the night isn't exactly weird to me. And I live on a state road that's super trafficy, and if I was out here during the day, the amount of traffic going by is just very distracting to me, and I don't really like it that much. Working my way off the state road, though, you know what I mean? It's good if you need to sell something on the side of the road, but it's not good for, like, trying to focus out here, and, you know what I mean? As soon as you try to get your mind right, you'll be out here, and it'll be like Peterbilt Jake breaking all night, so... I'm gonna go get some coil here. Whatever that stuff's called. Stuff in the orange container. Hey, Outboot Customs, where are you from, buddy? We ought to do a collab, man. I do love your channel. Yeah. I live in a rural area, but I'm not way off in the country like I would like to be, but it has its advantages, it has its disadvantages. I'm only 20 minutes away. I'm only 17 minutes away from Walmart and the auto parts store and the butcher shop and, you know, everything I need. So, advantages and disadvantages. I like to live on like a non-main road, still 20 minutes away from everything that I need to go to. Kind of what I would like. Can't always get what you want, if you try sometime. Get what you need. I'm just gonna lube up every one of these holes. Take the set screw out. Western Tennessee. I am in Central Indiana. Going to the East Super Nationals this weekend. Eastern Tennessee F100 Nationals. It does sound pretty cool. I know a guy, I bought some parts off of him for my bump side, core support and some other stuff. His name's Garrett Helton, or Helton, something like that. Got him on Facebook. He goes to that every year. I think it's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, maybe. But I don't make it down there to the shows. I don't have any of my trucks ready or anything, you know what I mean? Now, I'm doing another LS swap, so I don't know if I should tell you that, or you probably won't like me anymore. But, I'm LS swapping this other dump truck I got, a 79 f350. But I'm only really doing it not because it's like the most financially feasible thing for me. And I want to get over 8 miles to the gallon. Hey, I got that out, guys. Look at that. This little pry bar action there. come right out. Let's go ahead and leak the rest of that fluid out over there, running. Still got it on the shaft, but it's out there. We've got the victory. We've got it. It's been removed before my phone died too, guys. That's a victory. Oh, thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate you so much, Bobby Yord. Hitting my goals. I got that out, and I got those roses right at the same time. Are you kidding me? I appreciate you so much. It makes it so much nicer out here working on my vehicles. Did I not get my PTO pump out? But I also got my roses. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just been trying to stay positive out here on live, getting this pump out. And by God, I met one of my YouTube favorite people, got in my live. Are you kidding me? And I got my roses. And I wasn't alone out here at 4 o'clock in the morning working on the F350 dump truck. This is my new favorite time to go live. I am. Oh. That could have been some of my problem there. That thing's spinning around in there. I think this is a lot of my problem right here. I think if maybe I just replace this one little thing, I might be good. Look, this is the hydraulic pump here. And it looks like it's used to have 2 O-rings on it. And now it's only got 1. So how long did it take you to, are you done with... I remember starting to watch your project where you were welding. You were taking 3 single cabs and you were putting them into a crew cab of your own, right? Did you finish? And I want to say maybe it was last winter I was watching your videos, your every week updates. But I think I fell off. So did you get that project done? Are you still working on it? Are you taking that to the Nationals? I am underneath my F350 here. 5% battery life on my phone. Just got this PTO pump out. Just got this shaft out of it. This just fell out of there. So, and it looks like it's got stages, right? So when you pull this out, it's gonna pop. This is gonna be a lot of fluid. This is gonna be a little fluid. This is gonna be some other type of fluid. This is gonna be no fluid. And I think that when I pulled this out too far, it started dumping fluid out of the other side, and it's definitely not supposed to do that. So I still got to get this thing off of here. I don't really know what to do. I hate to be animalistic like this, you know what I mean? But I think it might just need to. I think it just might need a couple, several 6 or 10 love taps. Better drain that condenser. 80H product focus, dude, yeah. You got that too. It's called hyperfocus. I am not trapped. I am, unfortunately, willingly doing this. Taking the cab to the show, setting it up inside. I got more metalwork. Nice. Life does get busy. It's hard to get stuff done. I've been working Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Here on live, and I want somebody to co-stream with me, work on their own projects, because I don't ever take the time to work on my own projects. So I'm starting to work on my own projects Wednesday nights, live, 6 o'clock, and I'm looking for people to come co-host. Maybe we could have 6 people on there working on a project that they don't feel like they got any time for, because I don't want to be one of these old guys with a yard full of projects that's rusted out and they never got to any of them. So I'm going to work on them every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TikTok Live. For the rest of my life, is what I hope. I am gonna finish the transducer. I got a new flux capacitor to put in, and a rear left flange, and then we'll be done. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of beat this with a hammer. So if you guys are scared of violence, watch out for this hammer. It's a steel cased pump, so I think that's fine to do. I do think that I could pry this off there. Maybe if I had a certain kind of puller. I don't know if you guys have ever used this stuff before, but it's pretty amazing. It's called Coil. Aero Coil. It is a type of penetrating lubricant, and it is fantastic. I'm about to hit it with my purse. I think I need to go get my bigger hammer. And I feel like I need a way to, like, keep it up. Well, I do have a new good idea here. Now, this is kind of a pro tipper here. You might want to do this with a wrench you don't really give a shit about. Well, sometimes I like to take a wrench like this and put the wrench on it and then beat that shaft, because I need to get that slidey part. Sliding. Old Sladdy's got to slide for me. Definitely didn't work. It's only been on there for 56 years. It's gonna take a couple more whacks than that. Not working, but you know, sometimes progress is progress. Drop that nail. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Make sure you follow. Make sure you follow my channel. That's an important thing I'm supposed to be saying. I am gonna go, I think, go get a bigger hammer. Try the nail with the claw. Yeah, that's not exactly my favorite hammer. I've got some bigger, better hammers around here somewhere. I honestly thinking that heating this up would be probably my best bet. Warm some of that old shitty grease up and let it come out. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And my phone is at 5%. And I hate to, like, it's hard now. I'm done with this and I should probably go to bed. I am on YouTube. Check out my channel. It is Motorcycle Turbo on YouTube. But if you just search Honchero on there, you will find my YouTube channel. And what I've been doing is I've been going live, TikTok live, and then recording the live, and then maybe someday when I have more time in life, edit some videos from my live to my YouTube. But right now I just post the lives straight from my live recording right to my YouTube. I don't think YouTube probably really likes that, but I've only got like 150 followers on YouTube. And I try to post more long-term content, long-form content. As you can maybe see, I don't know if I still am or not. Probably battery's dead, yeah. But I've got a body cam on too. And I've been trying that baby out. Look at that. I've got a body cam and I've been recording this stuff, so whether it works or not, I don't know. I don't think I messed it up being down there. I totally belly smashed it 6 times, but you know what I mean. It's supposed to be an action camera, right? Not an in-action camera. I did get these lights in the TikTok shop. So if you don't just not have Wi-Fi in your shop, but maybe you don't have lights either, get you some of these lights. I'm gonna pin them right now. Check those babies out in my shop. It is great. Nothing wrong with cross-posting. That's right. Exactly right. I think a lot about it, you know. How many trucks you got? You ain't putting all your eggs in one truck basket. Why would I put my eggs all in one TikTok basket? Why would I put my eggs all in one Facebook basket? Why would I put all my eggs in one YouTube basket? I've got a video here on TikTok that has 657,000 views. The same video on YouTube has like 42 views. So, it's all about algorithm. It's all about randomness. I'm probably going to get kicked out here in a minute, guys, when my phone dies. I'm down to 3%, so we're buying on borrowed time. I'm going to set up this torch here. And well, I gotta go find a lighter. But I'm gonna set up this torch. I'm gonna set up this torch, let it heat up this grease, and then once it heats up that grease, I think that's gonna fall right out of there. You know what I mean? Had one last month, did one for $1 1K on YouTube, yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna make sure you follow me on here, Half Moon Customs, and I'll follow you back, because I want to see your content on that truck. I want to see progress on that thing, man. That's a sweet rig. That's a smart way to think about it. I almost bought a crew cab last summer. A guy had an F350 crew cab on Marketplace here, 79, and had a flatbed on it. Wasn't in bad shape. Drip rails was good, you know what I mean? Hell, had back door panels, and I told the dude, I was like, you know, I'd give you a little more for it because that's like a $10,000 truck, and he was like, oh, really? And he had no clue. Somebody came from like 6 hours away to buy it, and they were already coming, and blah, blah, blah. He couldn't give it to me, which, you know, whatever. Not like I need to spend $5,000 on a crew cab, but that's when I started, about the time I started watching your videos, and I was like, man, you could really build one if you do have some child labor and 1,000,000 free hours and a buddy that helps you. I see your buddy that you got on there. I followed his channel too. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on with the Bronco and the other thing welded together. That is pretty cool. So I don't know if you're allowed to show FIRE on here or not, so I'm just gonna not. But I do have the torch on this. I'm gonna heat that grease up, and I figured about the time that it starts to boil out of there, it's probably about the time to start hitting it with the hammer again. Yeah, it is a ton of work, lots of welding for sure. I did the Honchero, right, which is my, it's an S10 bed welded where the trunk used to be on a Honda Accord, and it's, it was a lot of welding. It was like 40 hours worth of welding, and I didn't even do it right, you know, I just kind of did the minimum. But just cutting an S10 bed in half, welding it back together, welding it on there, welding all the graphing panels, welding the roll pan in. People are always all like, oh, when are you going to finish that? When are you going to finish that? Well, maybe the day I don't drive it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have to build a whole nother one to finish another one. It is nice on these kind of projects, though. You get to lay down, you know. If your back's hurting, maybe you can just kind of throw all your tools down under your truck and just tuck in for the night under an F350 and just go ahead and get that heated up. I do have some other torches in my shop that I prefer to use because I could put 2 or 3 of them on there at a time, and that's about like one good torch. I do think that grease is super gross. It's probably gonna stink. I can kind of smell it already. I hate it when I start smelling something that's gross and I'm hungry, and then it's like somehow the gross smell like makes me even hungrier. I don't know. Oh. So not exactly sure what tranny it is, but I think it is an SM465. It is a 4-speed non-overdrive transmission. The T18s, I think, have a spot for a PTO if you want it. But I don't think that transmission didn't come out in these trucks. I do think it's an SM465. Yeah, MP435. Yeah, that's it. And I've had a Chevy truck with a PTO on the side, but I never used it. It was a flatbed F350 truck with a PTO on the side, but I never used it. It was a flatbed f350. Had the NP435. Had the NP435 with straight 6 and a 78 GD. The first I ever bought and just got rid of a few years ago. I had it for like 8 years. My hunting truck. Kind of what I ever bought and just got rid of a few years ago. I had it for like 8 years. My hunting truck. Kind of what made, twin I-beam thing is like indestructible kind of. But it's also, you're all over the road. Like I've never had a nice one, you know what I mean? But I just enjoy driving them, you know what I mean? This thing, the oldest vehicle I've ever drove. I've redone the rear end and I put rear tires on it. So I'm invested into driving it, you know what I mean? I've got $800 of tires on the back of this thing. So I've got to keep it running, or I've got to try to keep it running. I probably am glitching because running, or I've got to try to keep it running. I probably am glitching because we are back in action under the 69 F350. And you might look at my videos and be like, man, this dude doesn't know the difference between a 69 and a 72. In action under the 69 F350. And you might look at my videos and be like, man, this dude doesn't know the difference between a 69 and a 72. Excited about that. It's pretty far on. Yeah, I have a, make it's like problem. You know, wait on the thing. I do think that I can use they're pretty cool. It'd make this whole job so worth it. I love going on TikTok live or stuff because I don't want to feel like I'm doing it all by myself, you know what I mean? If 3 people in the world are watching me work on my 69 F350 at 4:30 in the morning, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm winning. I'm winning my own game, you know what I mean? It's about to come off of there. It's almost heated up enough. A year ago when I started my TikTok, I would have been like, oh shit. Let me give this gas. Some kind of hose was getting me over here, sorry. Let me give this gas. Some kind of hose was getting me over here, sorry. Tuck that up on my way. Tuck that up on my way. So, let's see. Come on, baby. Thank you for the follow. Operator. Yeah, thank you for the follow. That's what I'm going to be doing over the next few days. Maybe on TikTok Live. Maybe not on TikTok Live. But, I am glad to see it's off there. I've successfully done this on TikTok Live. One project. Start to finish. PTO pump removed. Don't mind the smoke. You guys ever get a Snapchat and you're like excited because you think somebody's Snapchatting you and it's like Team Snapchat wants to let you know about some new the item here real quick on that U-joint. That could be helpful. That could be helpful, folks. Alright. I'm gonna get this out of here. So, hold on. See if I can get it out of here. Not gonna pick it up by the hot part. Not gonna hit it up by the hot part. Just gotta keep telling yourself that. Don't pick it up by the hot part. Oh. I'm finally done working on the ground, guys, and I can get up here and maybe start to run a semi-reasonable TikTok live event where I just successfully removed that. Now I can pack up all my tools that it took me to find. We don't need this GoPro anymore. We're wrapping this up. This has really been, you know, TikTok's weird. When you think you're, who's gonna watch TikTok live at 4:30 in the morning? Nobody? That's what I thought. So this has been like my most successful live ever. I appreciate each and every one of you that have followed me. Sorry for all the noise. This is my newest horizontal surface, or at least it was. And now I'm cleaning this out. You know, ADHD and horizontal surfaces can be a bad combination. But I've cleaned out this shed over here, and I'm going to put my toolbox in there. And, you know, a shed next to a carport. The country boy dream right there. It's been a hot one today. I would have been miserable out here doing this with, like, no shirt on and everything, because I would have been, because it'd be too hot. No, that wasn't a tobacco. That was an Alpha Fuel. They're in my post. They're in my shop here. Click on the little shopping cart down there. Get you some Alpha Fuel in there. They got coffee flavor. They got mango flavor. They got banana coconut. They got lime. They got mint. They got wintergreen. They got mushroom. They got a lot of flavors. If you ain't got a mug this big, you need to step your mug game up. Can't get this in the TikTok shop, but I got one. 10,000 followers. I'll give this away to my 10,000th follower. Because I feel like it's pretty valuable. That is a nice piece of equipment. I mean, 32 ounces. And look, this is the best part. It's got a bottle opener on it. Are you kidding me? Eduardo, como es tu día, señor? Sí, habla español. Señor. Sí, habla español. Transmission, and I have no idea what kind of the pump is. It says some things on it. I'm gonna bring it over here. I'm gonna scrape it off, and we're gonna look at it together. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so part of this is still pretty hot, but not terrible. Pretty hot, but not terrible. Just a bracket that holds it on. Probably super loud. Sorry if you had the headphones in for that. Yeah. Wipe this baby off. It is a Gressen, Gresen, Minneapolis C model TB. Dirtiest thing I've ever touched. This is a little spool valve that popped out of there, and it looks already welded, which like automatically concerns me. I think that's supposed to be tight in there, and it wasn't tight. I do like to do a little thing when I take something apart like this, where just have a nice little clean area to put all the parts, you know what I mean? And if you got to take something out, apart, and you don't know how it goes back together, you can lay it out in order, so you don't have to guess what way it goes in there. Now I do normally use like some kind of cleaner, but I'm going to use a little brush today. See if I can brush this guy off enough to see what the numbers are on it. Once I get to this point, I should probably totally be quitting. Just be like messing with this tomorrow, like on a workbench or something. So, out here like I am, working on the bed of its own dump truck, you know. But it's out. That's the important part. Working on the bed of its own dump truck, you know. But it's out. That's the important part. That is the important part. That was my goal for tonight, was just to get it out. And that is the important part. That was my goal for tonight, was just to get it out. And I don't know how one of these things comes apart. I figured it would be easier to just pull it and then figure it out up here where it's obvious, you know what I mean? I've done a hydraulic spool valve for like a tractor that makes the bucket go up and down. So I have a little bit of an understanding of how it works. Some kind of springs, some kind of washers, maybe a little ball in there. There's some other things in there. But might do that on TikTok Live too, you know what I'm saying? I do think the TikTok Live. Can't believe that I got so many roses just while I was working on my vehicle. If you guys aren't on TikTok Live yet while you're working on your own vehicles, you should be. So they can give you a little heart that's like, 18 cents doesn't mean nothing to you really, but it means something a lot to me mentally. More than the money, you know what I mean? For sure, more than the money. Sorry, I keep disappearing there. I'm not thinking enough to create this frame. But getting better. Frame. But getting better. Get better. Life's improvement. All we can do is keep trying. Getting better. Get better. Life's improvement. All we can do is keep trying. 3 hours ago, I didn't know shit about pump. Now I've got my first pull back. So, you know, what's I do for you? If you got something you're worried about it, don't be worried about it. Just go do it. There's a dude in here earlier. He had a problem. He didn't have a crew cab. Inside. He started making his own. You know what I mean? Here's an inspiration. If you don't follow him, go to YouTube. Get on his TikTok. Follow him. Half Moon Customs. He does some cool stuff on his channel. Custom vehicles. His friends got custom vehicles. You know, if you like the dip side, bump side, air kind of vehicles, you're gonna like his channel. You'll probably like my channel too. Sad for air kind of vehicles, you're gonna like his channel. You'll probably like my channel too. You might have said, "Oh, that was septic." It was because of the septic. I just needed to run. You know, what you got? And that's what I do. And just walk around saying let's swap all the time. Not do it. People will think that you're just all talking. So, can't have that. So, can't have that. Gotta be a man of your word. Let's swap 1,400 times. Never at least started one. Welcome to my lawn. How you doing? Welcome to my lawn. How you doing, Bobby McGee? Oh, me and Bobby McGee, we used to play the blues. So we sung up every song that truck driver knew. This thing is just caked in mud. Let's just take this over to my buddy Kevin's house. He's real good with a wire brush. You drop something off over there, you might just come back and it'd be clean for you. Real good with a wire brush. You drop something off over there, you might just come back and it'd be clean for you. Well, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. What are you guys up to this morning? Traffic's starting to pick up here at my house. Almost 5 o'clock in the morning. To go getters are going to get it. Monday morning. They don't know is I've still been out here working. It ain't Monday morning to me. I've already been working. So glad I got TikTok to share this in because I was out here. Might have just give it up a little bit ago, you know what I mean? But I had 3 people in my live, so I stayed in. I stuck with it. My PTO about. Can't believe there's 3 people in my live. My PTO about. Can't believe there's 3 people in my live. How tired when I need to use my phone for a flashlight. I got some free samples of flashlights coming actually, so I'll be putting them in. I need to use my phone for a flashlight. I got some free samples of flashlights coming actually, so I'll be putting them in my show. But I keep glitching. I didn't know if it would be or not. I'm not on my Wi-Fi now. I'm just on my regular internet connection, so I'm not surprised about the glitching. Probably sucks. But look at this, dude. Probably sucks. But look at this, dude. Got this pup out. The heat method definitely worked. Took like 6 blue hammer. Now I'm just gonna. The heat method definitely worked. Took like 6 blue hammer. Now I'm just gonna. Maybe have to look at it. It looks like there's a valve right here of some sort. Some type of an adjustment. And there's another Allen supposed to go by there. That'll take this out, and I think there'll be another hydraulic screw in there. I think I might have to kid over there and take this whole kid over there and take this whole U out in the shop press, and then I can go right to town and get it here. Welcome to the live. Got my PTO here. Just kind of mulling around now, scraping some of the dirt off of it. Well, maybe it gets so gross the next time I handle the dirt off of it. Well, maybe it gets so gross the next time I handle this thing. It's kind of keeping me warm after I use torch on it. I'm actually not so sure about this case being iron. It might be aluminum. But I didn't break it. That's good. Might be aluminum. But I didn't break it. That's good. You know what I mean? I've always had dreams of putting up a water line here, starting my own business. Not just throw this in my business. Starting my own business. Not just throw this in my business. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, you don't. Just gave you that. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, you don't. Just gave you the idea. No heads in there. You could probably put this in there. Put it on the steam side. Hey, yeah, keep dreaming, folks. I got it. I work a little bit for the I work a little bit for the Thank you for liking my live. I appreciate that. Yeah, on TikTok Live, if you go into the showcase down here, if you click the little shopping cart and you just add that push out the live more. And, I think when you hit 2,000 likes or 2,000 likes, you get pushed out to the For You page. So Half Moon Customs, were you just scrolling on the For You page and popped in here? That would help me to know that information. I'm not a TikTok For You page and popped in here. That would help me to know that information. I'm not a TikTok live. 20 hours. Kind of start something on Wednesdays. I thought that maybe start something on Wednesdays. I thought that maybe eventually, if you wanted to come in there and get some car advice, I can talk to people through a lot of stuff over the phone or over messages. I know a lot of people, they really get they go to the shop and they get a $1,900 quote that, cool. Maybe I am on the For You page then. But I would like to eventually get enough people on Wednesdays where I can give some free car advice, you know, maybe help some people out with whatever they need. I've got some problems with the LS motor that I've got in the dump truck, because you know, how much wood can a wood truck truck? A wood truck can truck wood. So you gotta name your dump truck Chuck, but not this one, because I've already got a dump truck named Chuck. You can't have two dump trucks named Chuck. So, I'm just gonna keep building it and try to figure out the problem a little bit at a time. I've made a few videos about it, and I'm really trying to avoid pulling the head. I'm gonna put some of that Marvel mystery oil in it, see if that helps anything. Got a bad misfire between 2 and 4. Your bump duck goes bump, but your dump don't go dump. That's exactly right. It goes pop 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 down the road when you decel too. It's got a real good decel pop because of the lack of a donut gasket. You know, that decel pop might be happening anyways, but it is loud when it's up there. Loud right there by the cab. I'm sure you watch Five Script Garage, but it gives me an all-new appreciation for Derek there when I drove this baby home. No donut gasket, no power steering, barely any brakes. Classic. Fix the power steering, put power steering fluid on it. Fix the brakes, bled the brakes for the 4th time. Don't expect an LS, yeah. FE exhaust leaks, yeah, it definitely is the donut gasket. Like, I can see the gap. The LS swap dump truck, I'm doing it because I got the truck for $750. The guy had rebuilt the motor. Possibly a Craigslist rebuild, if you know what I'm saying. He re-gasketed the motor. And then he's proceeded to try to draw the transmission, a T18, to a 351 modified. And instead of lining it up and using the bolts right, he went to Rule King and got some all thread that was the same size and tried to draw the transmission to the motor with all thread and cracked the bell housing. Well, yeah, you're going to crack the belt housing when you're trying to force it on like that. And this is one of those guys that waited till he was retired to try to do anything, and then he's frustrated because he's 60 and he doesn't know how to be a mechanic because he's waited all his life to start building this project truck. And so he gave up. He was like, one more thing goes wrong with this, I'm selling it. And he sold it to me for $750. And I got the motor running on the stand. And then I put it on Marketplace because I was like, I'm not about to put all this in. I fixed the bell housing the best I could. I used some cast iron welding rods. And it seemed like that was going to hold up pretty good. But I knew that if I put the 351 in there, it would get like 7 miles to the gallon downhill, right? And I didn't want 7 miles to the gallon downhill. And I didn't want to have to work on a 351 modified and not be able to have one for it. And yeah, like I said, I've said LS swap so many times that I can't not do it. And I think I understood how to do it. And I bought a Yukon and I parted it out and I made the money back on it. Got the motor. I didn't pay anything for the motor. I had to pay $200 for the transmission. I got a U-joint. I got some. You're right. 351 is garbage. Yeah. I agree. Now, a regular 351 Windsor or whatever, you know, I've heard that they're indestructible, great, whatever. And I have a 400 in my 79 f350 Super Cab. I don't know if it's camper special or not, but it has the toolbox on the side of the bed. And that thing gets like terrible gas mileage, and now it has a blown head gasket, and now it's sitting over there at my other house in the into it later pile.
and the get to it later pile would obviously be awesome if the end of the get to it later pile ended up in it having a Cummins in it. But I'm not, counting on that. I could probably LS swap at 604 L80. I understand how to do the swap now. I do wish that I would have put my motor about 4 inches, about 2 inches down and 3 inches back, and the factory Silverado drive shaft would fit right in there. I had to get like an extenda yoke kind of deal, and
Are you happy about that? But at the same time, I'm not gonna cry about it. You know what I mean?
it is what it is. Sorry to leave you hanging. That was probably the ruse. Thank you very much. Super Clippers, I think, yeah. Yeah, the 400 is just, I think, whatever he said, stroked, or it's bored out, or it has a different head on it or something. It's the same block as the 351 modified, as far as I understand. I only know what people tell me, you know what I mean? I wasn't alive in 1979, I don't remember. I don't know what a Y block is. I'm gonna put an LS in it. Putting LSs is pretty easy. I flashed my computer. I made my own wiring harness. I made my own motor mounts. I made my own tranny mount. I got my factory gauges to work. Everything except the speedometer, because that was mechanical. And I sold that motor that truck came with, because believe it or not, people do out there want a 351 modified. Somebody. This dude paid me to drive it like 5 hours away. $200 to drive it 5 hours away. Could yeah, I'm on my way, dude. So I got the truck for $750, and I sold the motor for $1,400, $1,200, $200 delivery. And he was clearly impulse buying it. Felt like a CJ5 Jeep or something. And I was like, whatever, dude. If you want to put a 351 modified with a Jeep, more power to you. I'll meet you halfway across Illinois. So that's what I did. A 961 F100, I like that. That's what you're saying about unibody, I see. Those are the unibody ones. I've never seen one, and I've never been under one, so I haven't seen it with my own eyes, so it doesn't like bring a picture in my mind. But I have a 72. I've never put it on any of my videos or anything. I've had this project for a minute, but I get good deals on this shit. You know what I mean? I kind of spend a lot of time on Marketplace. I didn't roll up in the Hunchero then. I didn't have the Hunchero then. This is about 2 years ago. I had to drive my regular Silverado then. But I guess I haven't had an LS motor in the bed of the Hunchero yet. But I would pull it on my trailer. And I've got this other 72 F100, and I traded 6 bricks of firewood for this thing. And it was all torn apart and everything. No motor. No trans, just a roller. I sold the bed off of it to make it a short bed. I've got a short bed. I traded some things for some Freedom sticks. And I've got a short bed, a camper shell, and I put the Crown Vic front end in there. I've got a 4.8 that I'm going to put in there, and a 2-wheel drive 4L60, with my goal with that, making it stock and leaving it alone to hopefully have a classic daily driven shop kind of truck, a lowered Crown Vic front end, power steering, having air conditioning powered, maybe some powered seats would be cool, but I want AC, nice radio, 20 miles a gallon, cruise control. That's all I want out of a 72 F100. And short bed, even cooler. Definitely gotta have a short bed. And I want to be able to, you know, drive that to the school pickup line and drive it to a, you know, whatever. I'm not really exactly going to do work, but I'm going to do something else, you know what I mean? Drive it to a kid's sporting event, whatever. I am kind of a local legend with the Honchero. People drive by here and honk and honk. I've got no idea who they are. All I can assume is they're following my TikTok. You know what I mean? People do have some pretty good reactions to the Honchero somewhere. I really need to start videotaping that aspect. Sometimes people are yelling out their windows at me, and speeding off, and slowing down and taking videos. Kind of what made me start a TikTok was the fact that everybody was already putting all of my shit on TikTok. Everybody, my Honchero had to be on TikTok before I put it on there. And I was like, well, if you're gonna be putting my shit on TikTok anyways, you know, I'm gonna get the fucking credit for this. So then I started a TikTok, got out of my little shell a little bit. It's only been a year. I just now started noticing that videos come up and they'll say, a year ago since you made this video. The gas station trips definitely are fun. Sometimes the people that like the Honchero are not exactly the kind of people that I want to like me. But you know, you definitely kind of got to be a people person. It comes positive and negative. There's that part of it, right? But then there's some days I might be feeling bad about myself. I haven't left the house in 3 days. I don't feel like I'm getting nothing done. And then I pull up in the Walmart parking lot, and some lady is like, you know, walking in there with their purse all up here on her arm, and her husband will walk in there and be like, hey, and he'll be banging his wife in the arm, and he'll be like, look at that, that's what I need right there. I'll read his mouth, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what I need right there. And his wife will hit him in the arm and be like, yeah, I need that. And they're talking about the Honchero. That dude's wife just slapped him because of the Honchero. You know what I mean? And that's what really makes me feel good about it. It's clearly a one-on-one, but it's not going to be forever because I got a Honchero V2 in line already. I've already got it. I've got the Honchero V2 in line. I'm trying to make it a long bed version of the Honchero. It's the best trucking car I got. You know what I mean? Things I've done in that car at 32 miles to the gallon are amazing. It gets 26 miles to the gallon when I'm pulling around my Grasshopper 614D doing my mower jobs. I got 2 houses. I'm trying to mow both places, you know what I mean? And you only got one good mower, and I'm not going to do a shitty one over there. I'd hate to have to waste all those precious dinosaur bones. We only got a certain amount of them. Can't drive a dent side every day. The gas prices would be crazy if everybody was driving one. I put a stock 4.8 in it. Maybe not. Might be a little better. Tell you what, I've gotten this thing pretty clean as I'm here just talking to myself. Not talking to yourself if you're on TikTok Live, right? That's right. Even if you answer your own questions. The guy just talks to himself all night in his carport over there. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Not crazy anymore though, because 5 people are watching it, you know what I mean? I'm not just talking to myself. So, a factory Honda Accord is rated to tow 1,000 pounds. And you can order a hitch kit for a 2002 98 to 2002 Honda Accord. And I saw that it attached on these two things that aren't exactly frame rails, but they're the thickest part of the vehicle where you would jack it up, right? And they come all the way to the back, and they weren't bent in. When it was smashed in, if you go way back in my profile, you'll see the day that I got it, right? And how it was smashed in the back, perfectly wrecked. The back window wasn't broken. So I just cut all that off, and then I used those supports, and I maintained them. And then I ran drill holes in them. And then I put the pin on there. I had some pallet rack things, right? Like the uprights of a pallet rack. They already have holes in them. And I put those on there, and I bolted them on. And then I put the bed on there, and I just used the factory bed bolts to hold through there. And when I did the hitch, originally there was a bumper still there. So I used that bumper as a support to be able to tie in the hitch. And I went to Harbor Freight, and I got the tow hitch, bumper hitch, the thing that you're just supposed to weld on there. It was like $18. And I welded that on there, and I had that on there for about a year. And then eventually that factory bumper behind the plastic bumper gave out, and I had to redesign. I took that all back out. So the bed's bolted on there, and then it's welded, like graft welded to the body of the car. So it's kind of like double on there. Like just the bed bolts don't let it move. The roll pan bumper really holds it together pretty good, I think. And definitely to be able to have the tailgate that functions. And it just hides right there under that roll pan bumper. So on the second edition, I took some angle iron, and I did some triangulation, and I did some refortification. And you know, sometimes in life, you just gotta come back to these old sayings like, when in doubt, weld it out. And that's what I did. Just like you did with your crew cab. You were thinking, what is the solution to me not having my dream truck? When in doubt, weld it out. Just keep welding it till it's done. I never did get to check to see how many YouTube followers you have. Are you doing pretty good on your YouTube? Welded and Helded, that's right. I've never taken any formal welding courses. I really have no idea what I'm doing. Somebody that inspired me while I was making the Ponchero was, in fact, another YouTuber, Bondo Billy. You know what I mean? 8,200 sub. That is pretty good, dude. You're looking good. I hope that you are making that YouTube money, because that's a pretty good amount of followers. You have to have 10K though. That's why I'm trying to just do the multiple platform thing. See which one hits first. I got my first free sample from TikTok here the other day. I got in the Creator Rewards program. And you got to check these things out. Look at what these Freedom Rangers sent me right there. Can you believe that? They sent these to me for free. Honda Billy is pretty good. I utilized his long, damn, dude, that is good money. 8,200 followers. Yeah. You know, that right there is the reason that I started all this. Especially after I thought that somebody's gonna blow up on TikTok because they got my Ponchero on there. You know what I mean? I can't let that happen. You know what I mean? It's probably already maybe has happened. I don't know. But, you know, I would hate to admit that I didn't do anything about it. But that is good money on that. If I've got this one video on here, and if I had 10,000 subscribers, I would be happy with that. I made $42 this month on TikTok, going live and people buying stuff out of my live. So once you hit 1,000 on TikTok, you can get in the Creator Rewards program. You might have to ask and search and do all these things to get in there. But then you can get the free samples. And I'm excited. This is the first free sample I ever got off TikTok. I got 5 pairs of pit vipers. And these ones aren't even reflective. Those are my 4th of July ones. But, these ones are pretty cool. And, it's dark out here, but I can still see just fine. They just take the UV away. You know what I mean? So, $15 to $15 a month is pretty decent. You know what I mean? I was going to be out here working on this pump anyway. And when I'm out here working on something, I'm not cleaning this thing with my fucking mouth. And I'm not cleaning it with my fucking eyes. I don't even really have to look at it. So I can look at my phone and talk to my phone the whole time while I don't have to. Oh, top down. Nice. Yeah, that is cool. Pit vipers from the 90s? I didn't even know that they had already came back. You know what I mean? I've seen people wearing them now. Kind of do remember now what you're talking about. I'm barely from the 90s. I'm 1990. You know what I mean? I don't remember everything from the 90s because I was 10. I do think that's why I love dent sides and bump sides, mainly dent sides, 78, 79, bump sides, dent sides, is because, in 1990, when everybody was 16, they were getting their dad's first truck. From 1996 to 2000, those 22-year-old trucks were what people's dads were giving up, and they were giving them to their sons, and they were driving. So, every high school parking lot had them in it. They had square bodies. They had Gen 1 Dodges. It was like the first generation of trucks that I remember seeing, people my age driving. You know what I mean? But now you go to the high school parking lot, 2017s, you know what I mean? Hardly anybody's got a 2000 Silverado over there. Nobody's got a 2000 over there, that's for sure. So we got a Gresham Minneapolis model, quote unquote, TB12C. Looks like that's what we got here. To educate you guys on what kind of pump we got here. When we try to find a seal kit, should be really fun. The thing about a dump truck is it gives you a workable surface. So, is good. My phone is at 10%. My ex-wife's gonna be here in a minute to drop my daughter off. And getting up here. Good to talk to you. I've been cousins. You've been my hosting. Getting up here. Good to talk to you. I've been cousins. You've been my hosting gauge. In the sun.